Raider Nation, buckle up. Can the Silver and Black pull off a stunner against their arch-rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs, this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium? Or will injuries to key stars dim the lights in the Death Star? I'm your host, bringing you the latest on the Las Vegas Raiders, where the commitment to excellence isn't just a motto, it's a way of life. Let's dive into the big news shaking up the Raiders roster as they gear up for this AFC West showdown. The headline today: star tight end Brock Bowers is back at practice, but don't get too excited just yet. The second-year sensation is listed as doubtful for Sunday's clash against the Chiefs, sidelined by a nagging knee injury, a bone bruise and a PCL issue that's been plaguing him since Week 1. Bowers, the 2024 first-round pick out of Georgia, burst onto the scene with a jaw-dropping 103 receiving yards against the Patriots in his NFL debut. But since then, the injury's taken its toll, with Bowers failing to crack 50 yards in his next 3 games. Raiders fans, you know this kid's got all-pro potential. His hands are like glue, and his route running is smoother than a Las Vegas lounge act. But right now, the team's playing it safe, eyeing a full recovery after their Week 8 bye. Smart move, or are they risking momentum in a must-win game? Let's break it down. With Bowers likely out, the Raiders are turning to another young gun, 2023 second-rounder Michael Mayer. Now, Mayer's no stranger to stepping up. After missing Week 5 with a concussion, he showed his grit last week, hauling in 5 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. That's the kind of reliability that makes coaches smile and fans chant "Raiders" at the top of their lungs. Mayer's got big shoes to fill, but this Kentucky product has the size, 6 feet 4 inches, 265 pounds, and the heart to make plays. Expect him to be a focal point in the passing game, especially in the red zone, where his physicality can overpower defenders. But hold up, the injury bug's not done with the Raiders yet. Wide receiver Jakobi Meyers, a veteran playmaker, is questionable with knee and toe injuries from Week 6. Meyers missed practice early this week but was back in a limited capacity on Friday, giving him a fighting chance to suit up. If both Bowers and Meyers are out, quarterback Aiden O'Connell could be in for a rough day. Without his top 2 pass catchers, the Raiders might lean heavily on rookie running back Ashton Jeanty, a dynamic talent who's been turning heads with his speed and vision. Jeanty could be the X-factor, pounding the rock against a Chiefs defense that's allowed 4.5 yards per carry this season. Raiders fans, you feeling the pressure yet? Now, let's zoom out for some context. The Raiders' storied history is built on defying the odds. Think back to the 1976 Super Bowl, when Ken Stabler and John Madden led Oakland to a 32-14 rout over the Vikings, or Marcus Allen's iconic 74-yard touchdown run in Super Bowl XVIII. This team thrives on grit, and that's what makes this injury report so frustrating. The Raiders are 2-4 this season, desperate to claw their way back into playoff contention. Facing the Chiefs, who've owned this rivalry with a 9-1 record in their last 10 meetings, is no small task. Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes is a magician with the ball, and Andy Reid's playbook is thicker than a Vegas buffet menu. The Raiders' defense, led by Max Crosby's relentless motor, will need to dial up the pressure to keep this game close. Let's talk numbers. Bowers' 103-yard debut was a glimpse of his ceiling, but his 4.7 yards per target over the next 3 games shows how much that knee injuries held him back. Compare that to Davante Adams, who's still on the roster and averaging 8.2 yards per target despite trade rumors swirling like desert dust. If Meyers can't go, Adams will be O'Connell's go-to guy. But the Chiefs' secondary, anchored by Trent McDuffie, is no joke. They're allowing just 6.8 yards per pass attempt. The Raiders' offense, ranked 22nd in passing yards per game, needs to find a spark, and fast. Picture this: I'm standing outside Allegiant Stadium, and I run into a die-hard Raiders fan, decked out in a Charles Woodson jersey. I ask him, how's the team gonna handle this Chiefs game without Bowers? He laughs and says, "Man, we're Raiders. We don't back down. Meyer's gonna ball out, and Crosby's gonna eat Mahomes for lunch." That's the spirit of Raiders Nation, unshakable, no matter the odds. I even got a fictional quote from Coach Antonio Pierce, who might say, "We're not here to make excuses. Injuries hurt, but this is the NFL. Next man up, and we're coming for that W." So, what's the outlook? If Bowers and Meyers sit, the Raiders' game plan shifts to a ground-and-pound approach with Jeanty, mixed with quick passes to Adams and Mayer. Defensively, they'll need to channel the spirit of Al Davis: speed, aggression, and a little bit of swagger. A win against Kansas City would be a statement, a throwback to the days when the Raiders ruled the AFC West. A loss, though, could drop them to 2-5, making that playoff push feel like a long shot in the desert heat. Raiders fans, this is your moment. Will the silver and black shock the Chiefs and light up the Death Star? Tune in Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern on CBS to find out. And don't forget, follow us for all the latest Raiders news, from injury updates to game day hype. Just win, baby.